Read along with me. Contemporary Linguistics, an Introduction, written by William O'Grady, Michael Dobrovolsky, and Francis Katamba, published by Longman, 3rd edition, printed in 1996, page 271. 1.2 Semantic Relations Involving Sentences. Like words, sentences have meanings that can be analyzed in terms of their relation to other meanings. We consider three such relations here: paraphrase, entailment, and contradiction. Paraphrase. Two sentences that can have the same meaning are said to be paraphrases of each other. The following pairs of sentences provide examples of paraphrases. Example 4a. The police chased the burglar. 4b. The burglar was chased by the police. Example number 5. 5a. I gave the summons to Chris. 5b. I gave Chris the summons. Example 6. 6a. It is unfortunate that the team lost. 6b. Unfortunately, the team lost. Unfortunately, the team lost. Unfortunately, the team lost. Example 7. 7a. Paul bought a car from Sue. 7b. Sue sold a car to Paul. Example 8. 8a. The game will begin at 3 p.m. 8b. At 3 p.m. the game will begin. At 3 p.m., the game will begin. At 3 p.m., the game will begin. The A and B sentences in each of the above pairs are obviously very similar in meaning. Indeed, it would be impossible for one sentence in any pair to be true without the other also being true. Thus, if it is true that the police chased the burglar, it must also be true that the burglar was chased by the police. Similarly, if it is false that the police chased the burglar, then it must also be false that the burglar was chased by the police. In brackets, sentences whose meanings are related to each other in this way are said to have the same truth conditions. For some linguists, this is enough to justify saying that the two sentences have the same meaning. However, you may notice that there are subtle differences in emphasis between the A and B sentences in 4 to 8. For instance, it is natural to interpret 4a as a statement about what the police did, and 4b as a statement about what happened to the burglar. Similarly, 8b seems to place more emphasis on the starting time of the game than 8a does. As is the case with synonymy, many linguists feel that languages do not permit two or more structures to have absolutely identical meanings, and that paraphrases are therefore never perfect. Entailment. A relation in which the truth of one sentence necessarily implies the truth of another, as happens in example 4 to 8 above, is called entailment. In the cases we have been considering, the entailment relation between the A and B sentences is mutual, since the truth of either sentence guarantees the truth of the other. In some cases, however, entailment is asymmetrical. The following examples illustrate this. Example number 9. 9a. The park wardens killed the tiger. 9b. The tiger is dead. Example number 10. 10a. Robin is a man. 10b. Robin is human. The A sentences in number 9 and number 10 entail the B sentences. If it is true that the park wardens killed the tiger, then it must also be true that the tiger is dead. However, the reverse does not follow, since the tiger could be dead without the park wardens having killed it. Similarly, if it is true that Robin is a man, then It is also be true that Robin is human. Once again though, the reverse does not hold. Even if we know that Robin is a human, we cannot conclude that Robin is a man rather than a woman or a child. Contradiction. Sometimes it turns out that if one sentence is true, then another sentence must be false. This is the case with the examples in number 11. Examples 11. 11a. Charles is a bachelor. 11b. Charles is married. If it is true that Charles is a bachelor, then it cannot be true that he is married. When the two sentences cannot both be true, we say that there is a contradiction. Contradiction. 1.3. What is meaning? Although it is relatively easy to determine whether two words or sentences have identical or different meanings, it is much more difficult to determine precisely what meaning is in the first place. In fact, despite many centuries of study, we still know very little about the nature of meaning or how it is represented in the human mind. Nonetheless, it is worthwhile to review briefly some of the better-known proposals and the problems that they encounter. This is the end of video part 2. Today on March 29th, 2025, I have read pages 271 up until 272. Later in the third video, I will be reading connotation, denotation, extension, and intension. Thank you so much for listening to my video. This is Evi Sayono. See you next time. Bye.